Right now, there's a lot more questions than answers.
Clint David is a Dallas attorney.
Dallas attorney Clint David.
He's attorney Clint David.
Lawyer Clinton David says the landmark ruling could have a major impact in Dallas.
It completely changes how the Corps of Engineers, I believe, is going to do business in the future.
Employment attorney Clint David says that kind of corporate logic is a tough sell to America.
If you want to try to get away with fantasy football and your policies say don't do it, you can try, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Dallas attorney Clint David says provocatively dressed employees are a risk to employers.
We live in a much more litigious society where the office manual used to be 5 pages, now it's 105 pages. If anything good comes from this, it'll be the lesson when you get a recall that can cause death. Respect the recall and repair the motorcycle.
Trial watcher attorney Clint David says defense attorneys did show some of the government's case framed on evidence taken out of context.
What the prosecution, I think, showed there is that Don Hill's credibility on the fax machine issue is subject, and if it's subject on the fax machine issue, you can't believe a word he's saying in this trial. This was just a sickening cascade of events that led to the tragic death of a mother and her daughter. This is why people are so angry at the legal system. They want to lash out. They don't know who to lash out at. The jury could have sentenced him on the 3rd trial to 10 years. He only got sentenced to 3. He was out on parole, and we see how successful the breathalyzer hooked up to your ignition is. Just drive someone else's car, and you don't have to worry about it. The system brutally failed this family. It's tragic. People are angry, and you really don't know what to do. They picked the wrong person to ask to leave this flight. This is a person that has a lot of notoriety, a very famous person, and quite honestly, this may be the best thing that ever happened to him career-wise.
Dallas attorney Clint David says most airlines have policies that give them the right to determine if a customer's girth inconveniences other passengers.
And the main premise is that if the arm does not go down comfortably, such that you are able to remain in one seat, but instead a part of your body goes over into the adjoining seat, they think that affects the comfort of the next door neighbor, and as a result of that, they can require you, and do require you, not to leave the plane, but to buy 2 tickets. The jurors need to think about who's testifying and what their motivation might be for testifying, and that goes to all of the defendants that have pled guilty.
Trial analyst Clint David says the prosecution will ask jurors to
put on your common sense hat and let's look at this evidence. Everything that's done, the timeline, the flow of the money, look at the totality of it and show that there was a conspiracy to commit all of these crimes.
We want you to say, here's what needs to happen, and it goes away. But I guess we've been saying that for years.
Each case is different. Yeah. I mean, if you try to have a single answer for all offenses, you do away with the system. Once again, we have a jury system. It's not a perfect system, but it's the best one in the world. And in this particular case, you got a situation where a man 3 times DWI should have been locked up much longer. Had he been, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this.
Right.